There are several really good things about Room to Ride. This is the first segment in the second episode of the 12th season of Arthur, and Binky is campaigning or trying to encourage people to vote in favour of bike lanes in an upcoming um, vote for them. And obviously, we know already that Binky is a keen cyclist, and it's great to see him being passionate about something, particularly something that's, obviously very healthy. But he learns that not everybody's in favour of bike lanes. And I kind of relate to this a bit because last summer in Belsize Park, they were installing bike lanes, and the noise of the installation was horrendous. And just as a side note, it apparently ruined a lot of local businesses because now cars can't park anywhere. And if you've ever lived in central London or central London adjacent, parking's already a nightmare. So I could understand why some people would be against bike lanes, but the episode is very much in favour of bike lanes, which I think is a nice way, particularly for younger viewers, to learn about, first of all, the safety of cycling. The main purpose of bike lanes is to make it safer for cyclists so they don't have to cycle on the road. I can't remember what age it is in the UK, but there is a certain age when you're no longer allowed to cycle on the pavement. Obviously, 2-year-olds on their little tricycles, absolutely fine. But if I remember rightly, the age is actually really young, and much younger than I would feel comfortable with children cycling on the roads. But I'm going off on a tangent. The point is, it's really in favour of bike lanes, and I can completely understand that side. It never really looked into why some people were against them, and I feel like they could have been a bit more informative about that. But you could also argue that there are many reasons why different people might not want bike lanes. So it's more of a one-sided argument. But at the same time, not only is it encouraging children to cycle, encouraging safer cycling, but we also have a look at voting, and there's some discussion about elections, and it can get children encouraged in voting, or at least encouraging their parents to vote, because obviously children are too young to vote themselves, and the episode actually discusses this, which I think is also a good thing. Anything that gets children interested in campaigns and elections and campaigning for something they're passionate about is really good. We also have, quite interestingly, Lance Armstrong, voicing Lance Armstrong, which in itself is pretty great. There have been quite a few guest stars in Arthur over the last kind of this time frame, the last few seasons. But what just amused me is that a couple of episodes ago, well, for me it was a couple of episodes ago, but it was probably a couple of seasons ago now, we had a character called Vance Legstrong, I believe, who was meant to be a parody of Lance Armstrong. He was a cyclist character, somebody Binky admired, and now they actually have the real Lance Armstrong. So it just amused me that they previously had to create a fake similar personality and then they get the real deal, which I rather enjoyed. It's a good episode, definitely has a lot going for it. It's great to see the characters being passionate about something. It's great to see it providing some education and encouraging cycling, and as I said, safer cycling, which I think is something that's very important. It's not a personal favourite. It's not high up there in my list of favourites, but there's nothing bad about it at all. It's definitely a good episode.